welcome to GenFriends. I'm your host, Cheri Hudson Passey from Carolina Girl Genealogy, and I'm really excited. We've got a full panel tonight. We've got some special guests, and we've got some regular panelists. We've got Laura Hedgecock from Treasure Chest of Memories. Hey, Laura.
Hi, everybody.
Good to have you. We've got Melissa Parker. Hey, Melissa.
Hi, everybody.
And Dan Earl, our family history guy. Hey, Dan.
Hello.
So great to have this regular panel. I love getting together with you guys, and I love when we have special guests. And tonight, from the, I'm going to say this right, the 21-day Family Connection Experiment, we've got three of their, is it would you call yourself from the board or from the
team?
Just the team. Whatever we have got. I want to make sure I do this correctly. We've got Project Director Olivia Jewell. Hi, Olivia.
Hello.
Good to have you here. We have Taralyn Parker, and you are the inviting
social
director,
media,
or just
social
director or social director, and then we've got business director Sarah Gardner.
Yeah. Oh no, this is Sarah Day. Sorry.
Oh, Sarah Day. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong Sarah.
It's okay. We get confused sometimes.
Yeah, you get confused. I got you confused. Sorry, I wrote down the wrong name before I even started this, and then I didn't pay attention. I'm sorry, Sarah. We are so glad that you guys are here because I'm really excited about this program. I've heard about it, and is this the third time you've run it, or have you done it more than that? Fourth?
This is the third.
Third. Yeah. All right. Well, who wants to go first? Tell us how this came to be, and let us know what it's all about and how we can join you.
Oh, great. Yes, we like that last question. Yes, so let's see. I guess I can give the short, try to do the short version. In April, when all of us in our neck of the woods were way quarantined, I started feeling meh. We're going to go with meh for the word. And I kept thinking, like, I need to do the 21-day family history challenge because I'd done that a few times. I'd been invited to do it with friends, different groups. And I just was like, I need to do that. It always makes me happier. Well, I kind of had the thought, you should do that. You should invite all your friends because I had so many friends in PTA and just different groups that we'd been Zooming and realizing everyone was feeling blah. And so we thought, we'll just invite everyone we can. And then this weird thought of like, we should measure the psychological benefits because I knew it made me happy. And I thought, let's try this. And so I just started reaching out to people, and Taralyn and like just so many people jumped on board. Dan actually helped us with the first one, come up with some of the questions, and none of us are scientists. We did get a psychologist to jump on our team, which was helpful because he helps us keep us on track a little. But we just threw it together. It was like mid-April and we launched by May 1st. So it was less than 2 weeks from the date of like I did to like launch, and it was so much fun. I have had the best time getting to know everybody who has worked on the project, and we've just had volunteers like come in like crazy because everyone really believes in helping other people realize that family history is more than just genealogy charts and you know, dead people. It's about all these different connections, but also that it does bring some happiness and healing and other powers into your life just by participating in it and getting those connections. And so we've been on this little journey, and basically what it is, because that doesn't really explain it, is it's a 21-day project. So people come in, they take a survey at the beginning that just kind of gauges where their mood is. And then for 21 days, they participate in family history activities, but our family history activities are really a lot more broad than what you typically think of as family history. It's more like fun things like, you know, having a conversation, an intentional conversation with your kids at the dinner table and asking them questions about their lives or sharing stories from your life. Calling someone and recording the conversation, just kind of trying to think outside the box and not just working on a genealogy chart necessarily. So doing that for 21 days and then taking a survey at the end. And with our first experiment in May, we were shocked. We ended up having 5,500 people participate from 77 different countries.
Wow.
Yeah, we were really excited. And so that made us decide we should keep doing it. So we did it again in October. It wasn't quite as big, but sorry, I have a child interrupting.
Oh, that's okay. We don't mind that.
That's like, that's how our whole project goes.
That's okay.
That's a family connection. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. So yeah, we still have a couple thousand come in October. And so after October, we thought, you know what, we were getting so many requests from people that they wanted to be able to do it just anytime. And we decided as a team that we thought it might work better to just have it be more ongoing and resources that are available, and people could do it any month that they wanted to, and they could bring their friends and their family and say, hey, let's do it this month. So we have changed it, and this year 2021 is our year. It's 21 days in 2021, right? So we switched it, and so every month from the 1st to the 21st this year, we'll have a different featured plan, but all of our plans are always available, but a different featured plan every month. You can take the survey and you can participate with us, or you can do your own thing with your family and friends, but we're just trying to make it more available. And yeah, that's kind of a long, that's my short version. So that's scary, but yes.
I love this fact that you're doing it. You can do it when you want to do it, because I was going to jump right into it in October, and then I got swamped. I felt so bad because all this stuff came up that I had to get done. And so I felt really bad that I didn't get on board the way I wanted to get on board. So just the fact that now it's not just this, specific time.
Yes,
you can
do it whenever you want, and you can do it multiple times.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's been really fun. And I do have to say this, I hope it will come out later, but I'm just going to say, we have really focused on the fact that it's a community project. We really want people to feel like they can come, they can contribute their ideas. If they have cool activities, come bring them to the table so we can share them with everybody. We really, really want people to feel like they can contribute to it, but they can also participate, and they can share it with whoever they want. We just want it to be something that everyone feels part of, so we're trying to make that feel for all of us.
Exactly. That's wonderful. Sarah, tell me about what you do with the project. What is your responsibility?
Yeah, so I do a couple of things. First off, I joined the team in August, and so I was a part of the second experiment. Olivia was throwing around ideas one day in a team meeting, and they kind of came across the idea that they wanted to have an app. And I said, I've never done that before, but I'd be willing to try and make one.
Oh, wow.
So then I made one, and it's currently on the Google Play store, and so you can go download it, and it just has all the plans and some connecting tools on it. So that's kind of cool. And then I also am in charge of the blog, so I put up all the content and help people come up with ideas, and so that's one of my responsibilities. And then I'm also the experiment benefits team manager, and so I help write the surveys and put out content about all the wonderful benefits of doing family history and participating in the experiment. So yeah, those are my responsibilities.
We have to insert that. How old are you, Sarah?
I am 17.
Oh my!
I'm a junior in high school.
Golly gosh.
She's incredible. Like, she is seriously incredible. Everything you ask her to do, she's like, yeah, I can do that. I'll figure it out if I don't know how.
Yeah.
She's
Most
amazing.
things I don't know how to do originally, but I figure them out eventually. So
yeah.
Wow, I'm so impressed.
She's awesome. We love having Sarah, except for we probably shouldn't put so much on her.
I really enjoy it, so it's probably okay.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love that. And I love that there's an app, and I love that you just said, yeah, I can figure that out.
Yep, that's how I run my life. I can figure that out.
I have a quick question. Since you do have an app and people might be looking for it, do any of you have where you can just show in front of the camera like a logo and your name so that people will recognize that when they see it? Otherwise, you can just send it to Cheri and she can put it in the show
absolutely.
notes.
I can put it in the show notes. Any links you want to send me, make sure.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's showing, right?
It is showing, yeah.
So there's our logo, and that's our homepage. But on the app, it's just called 21 Day Family Connections Experiment, right, Sarah?
Yes, that is what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes people look to recognize those kind of things.
Yeah. That was great, Laura. That was great.
And you can find it at connections-experiment.com. That's where our URL. So
fabulous. Now, Tara, tell me about your responsibility. What's your part in this group?
I have like the best responsibility. I get to work with social media. And I feel like that social media community was just key during the pandemic. Like we're all stuck at home. You know, even as like genealogists and family historians, we're still social people. Like we want to connect and get together. So I help with like not only inviting people into the experiment, but running the social media and interacting and gathering the stories. I think like everybody's stories and connections, that's at the heart of it. So that's kind of what I get to do in a nutshell. But
fun. How fun. Talk to me a little bit about what you're finding out from people. How is this making them feel with your surveys and all that? You know, the social connection that you talked about, and also that feel good connection when you start sharing family and discovering family.
I love hearing those stories. My own cousin decided to do it. We hadn't connected a lot, but this experiment brought us closer together. She did it. She's a young mom at home with 2 children, and she said it kind of gave her something to do for herself every morning. And she did journal writing and she did family stories, and for her it was just a pick-me-up. Her kids have a lot of medical needs, and so she felt so good. And there's so many stories. Olivia might have a couple more good ones, but like I loved, we had some grandmas who for their activity, they would read stories to their kids on Zoom, or their grandkids. But that's connecting and that's sharing, and we love that because family history kind of looks different for everybody. And like some people get excited about records, like me, and other, I know, like give me something to index and I'm happy. But a lot of people just dove into sharing their own stories, like documenting what it's like to go through this crazy 2020. Like we all need that journal therapy. And I really think it did help people. It helped us personally. And from the experiment results, we did see that people generally were a little bit happier at the end of the experiment.
That's fabulous. And I mean, as genealogists, we know why. Feeling that way. We feel that way a lot.
Because we've all felt it. Yes.
Yeah. So it's exciting to bring in other people that may be not interested really in that, you know, finding the records and all that kind of stuff, but they want to share family stories in another way. So this is a way to pull in youth, children, people that really aren't as interested in that genealogy label, more interested in the family history label and doing things in a slightly different way. So but it's the same end result. You're finding family and collecting stories and adding to your tree in that way. So I think it's fabulous. Olivia, did you have any stories?
Oh, so many. I just got done putting my Roots Tech classes together, and so it was, you know, gathering all of the stories to share in that setting. And I was like, it was so hard to narrow it down because there was so many, but a couple of the ones that stand out that I think are totally worth sharing is one lady, like Taralyn had said, she had done a Zoom with her extended family, but she had a couple of siblings who had never, or who hadn't spoken in over 7 years, like not even spoken. And she said they came to the family Zoom, and by the end, they were not only like laughing, they were interacting and talking to each other. And it just, she said it took down walls that had been up for so long. And she, like at the end of her comment, she basically just said, thank you so much for helping me think outside the box. You know, before that, she just hadn't known how to reach them. And it's like, and all they did was shared family stories. You know, they just shared their family stories and recorded the Zoom call, and it turned their hearts to each other.
Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah, I love it. Me too. And one was a little more personal, but I emailed the lady to ask her if it was okay for me to share it because it was really personal. They had lost their son a couple of months within really recent before the experiment in May. And she said that the entire experiment, the family decided to do it together. And she said it was the most healing thing. By the end of the experiment, they were closer than they had even been before they'd lost their son. And it was like, you know, of course, she just expressed how grateful she was that she'd done it. And obviously when we went out to do this we had no intention of those things, like of that big of healing. We were just trying to help people feel better a little bit, you know, because we were all like, yeah, stuck at home. But when you read some of those, it's like that's what makes it all worth it, because we're all volunteers. We're just doing this because we love it and we want to share it with everyone. But when you read those, it's like, oh yeah, we got to keep this going. If it does that for one person each month, that's absolutely worth it, you know. So yeah, there's a lot of really great stories. Someone said they had a question. I saw it pop up. Sorry.
I have another question. So if I understood you right, you said you launched it within 2 or 3 weeks the first time, and had 5,500 participants.
Yes.
So how did you achieve that kind of reach in that short time?
A good social media person.
Yeah, I guess Taralyn, that would be your question to answer. But anyone can pop in with ideas.
It just kind of dominoed. We had an article in a newspaper. We reached out to all of our Roots Tech friends, and we just told everyone, you know, just spread the word. And I think in May, like, we're 5 weeks into this craziness. I think everyone was just looking for something
different
to do as a community. So a lot of it was word of mouth, social media, and then just being the right time. That's, people were eager to participate.
Yeah. Well, and one of the moms that responded, it seems simple, but it was huge to me. Her response at the end was, we could be having fighting, screaming, kicking, because that was my days at that time. You know, we could all be fighting. And at the end of the day, when we came together to do the experiment, by the end, we were all laughing. There was so much love in the room. And so for her, it just changed her whole world, you know, like it brought in something they could connect over instead of being at each other's throats, which we can probably all relate to a little bit.
Yeah, we know. Exactly.
So yeah.
And so Sarah, were you was your normal school closed during some of this time, or were you also going to school and doing all that?
So my school closed in March, and then I participated in the May experiment as a participant. And then I joined the team in August. But yeah, I'm an 11th grader, and I do about 3/4 of my stuff in person, and then I take another couple of classes online. So I'm doing a mix of both, and then did the experiment on top of that.
Wow.
So you're totally lazy.
Yeah, I totally just lay around and watch movies all day.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Some days you need those days. Just lay around and watch TV all day. Yeah,
Exactly.
I can keep myself pretty busy.
Does anybody else have a question? I feel like I've kind of been doing all the question, and this is just a wonderful thing. Dan, did you feel like you were going to say something there for a minute? Maybe not.
No, just Sarah's putting my junior in high school to shame. So it's if he wakes up on time for school, I'm pretty happy. So you've raised the bar for juniors everywhere, Sarah. So.
Well, and Sarah's helped put together plans too. Like, she just listed the things she's actually in charge of, but she helps with everything. And our February plan is, I don't think I'm supposed to say yet, but, but it's very focused on teens and Gen Zers. And so it's very, very, we'll say, technologically focused. And Sarah's helped with that one too. So she's all over the place.
I do a little bit of everything. Those were just the things that I'm mainly doing.
Well, I'm really excited about the younger generations getting involved, because genealogists like myself who've been doing this for 30 years, you know, we think about, you know, what's going to happen when we're not here. You know, if we can't get our children and grandchildren interested, hopefully I always say there's one person in the family that usually is interested, you know, and so it's great to have things that are up. When I say up to date, I mean, you know, that are technically up to date and really appeal to the younger generations, and so they can get involved as well. And you know, today I actually signed up for it. So
yay.
Yeah.
So,
and I love you saying, sorry.
No, you go right ahead.
I was just gonna say, I love her saying that, you know, she's been a genealogist forever, because that's, like, for us, one of our big things is a lot of us are genealogists, but we also really want to bring in the people who haven't ever tried it before. Like you're saying, we all have one person in the family who's into it. And we have about 50% of the participants have never done genealogy before, which is really kind of fun. And so it's kind of fun to see the two worlds come together within our social channels, which, you know, Tara manages beautifully because she kind of brings them together with questions. And it's so fun to see the genealogists bringing to the table these really interesting things that they're finding. And then the people who aren't necessarily genealogists, all of a sudden they're going, oh, actually, this is interesting. You know, so I love that too.
See, we had we're okay with kids popping in.
Dan is telling his son that, you see this girl right here, she's 17 years old. You know what she does?
She gets up before school.
See, I told you.
Yeah. I haven't taken early morning class this semester, so yeah, nice and early.
Oh gosh,
she's just making us all look bad.
But for comparison, so 22% of the people that participate in our experiment do family history 0 days a week before doing the experiment. And so it's kind of cool to see the mix of the people who do none or do a little bit and the people who do a ton, and to still see them participate and still see the improvement among all of them, I think is really cool.
Hopefully, you know, we're just pulling them in, getting them addicted.
If we can get them hooked, we'll get them addicted, and then we're good.
Yeah,
No,
good.
Well, what I love is the connection aspect, because my thing is storytelling, but I honestly believe that is the power of genealogy, is connections. And I think part of the lack of allure sometimes is we make it hard for people to see that connectedness that lies within. And so I love how you've opened the doors to that and found different ways to meet people where they are and inspire them, but basically show them how to inspire themselves, give them some challenges and let them do so.
I like that. Inspire themselves. I like that. I really like that. You were talking about different plans. So every month has a different theme. Is that what you're saying? But you can't tell us.
Yeah, well, we can tell you this month. We decided to put it into more of a like reveal, you know, like so each month is a surprise. So after the 21st of every month, that next Friday, we'll have a Twitter party where we'll reveal what the next plan is.
Fun. I love that idea. And tell me about January's. Tell me about January.
So January's, I'm actually excited because that's exactly what I was like, oh, I got to tell them. So we did one called All About Me in May, and it was such a huge success. And I have to tell you, for those of you who didn't do it, when they first put it together, I was like, is that really family connections? Like I kind of hemmed and hawed, but everyone wanted to do it, so we did it, right? But the success of that plan, I could not believe how many people had really incredible experiences connecting with their past, connecting with their present. Like it was just really cool. And so I was jealous because I didn't have time to do it in May. So I was like, we got to do that one. And so we decided that was a really good, January is a great month to focus on, you know, ourselves and like what, you know, it's like, what's the word? That time of year when you start trying to do
setting goals, you get introspective. Yeah. You're gonna change my life in 2021, right? Yeah.
Yes. And like what is so cool, I told you we're all volunteers, but everyone brings to the table so many cool skills. And Christina's our graphics girl. She put together a beautiful book. I'm grabbing it. I just printed 3 of them, but like they have different covers, but they are so pretty. Like, and so, I mean, you can just see it. Every page is just beautiful, and it's totally broken down so that every day of the month, you can't see it very good. Sorry, the lighting's funny, but every day of the month, you can do your journal within these pages. And I'm so excited. I printed them for my kids. I'm going to scan them at the end. So we have them digital, but like, it's just like you bring all these brains to the team and everyone just makes it that much better. And so it's really fun to see it all come together.
One thing that genealogists tend to do is we tend to, believe it or not, forget about ourselves. And so one of the things that I teach when it's not COVID, I teach a class every month at my local library, and I encourage my students to write their story. And I threaten them by saying, you don't want to be gone and your children and your grandchildren writing your story. I said, so you need to write your own story. And so I like that aspect and that the way they come to it that way, because, you know, we're so excited about researching everyone that came before us that we don't, we forget. It's like, I'll do my story later or something. And we just never do. And so it's good that you're all doing that.
And we don't think our own stories are interesting enough.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Right. I like to equate it to the family photographer who's never in the frame.
There you go.
Absolutely.
And I had a mom who was a complete and utter shutterbug, but we don't have very many pictures of her with us.
Right.
And I think a lot of genealogists make the same mistake. We paint this portrait of the family and we withhold our own stories.
Right.
So,
One of the first rules of genealogy is start with yourself, but I think that we
that's
gloss
where the
over that
pedigree-
so fast to go to the next whatever.
That's right.
That we should spend more time, you know, on ourselves. Was like, you know, a lot of us don't want to really spend that time on ourselves, but we should.
I think you're right.
All right. So tell us how we get involved, because I know everybody watching this episode wants to get involved now. So who wants to address that?
I know I want to let someone else address it, but I want to share my screen.
Do it. Go for it. Just share.
Okay, here we go. So we have it open because this is actually really exciting because we just revamped our homepage to hopefully make it easier and more logical for anyone to come at any time. But basically, connections-experiment.com. And then what I have to tell you about, because I'm excited about this, we have two options here. You can start participating. You can click on this one on the right. On the left, you have the Connections Idea Generator, which is something we created in October, and we love it. It's so fun. So with the Connections Idea Generator, the idea is, even if you're not participating in the project, if you ever just need a quick 5 minutes or less idea for connecting with your family, you come in here and you click that button and it pops it up and you can click Surprise Me, and it's going to give you a quick idea that you can do with your family just that evening or that day. You click it again, you get another one. And we've just got a huge compilation of different fun ideas for connecting quick. So that one is just like a gift we're giving to the whole world. Come use it anytime you want. Connect with your family, be more intentional, and use that tool. But if you want to participate like officially and do a 21-day with us, click participate. And then it will bring you to this little video, and it's a quick video that will just explain. It's a little, you know, explainer video, and click count me in. So we be sure and count you. And then it'll tell you which number of our community you are. And then basically just sign up for our how-to guide, which will send you an email with just an overall of, okay, here we're going to reveal our plan once a month. You can participate this way, this way, this way. Here's all your resources. You can sign up to get daily reminders. You can sign up to get the app. And then you come down here, you connect with our community, and then you get to start exploring. So we have our plans page, which has a ton, and I'm actually going to go there because it's beautiful. So our feature plan will always be at the top right there, and you can see whatever we're focusing on that month, or all of our old plans are all here. And so there's a ton of really great ideas and plans that are just, it's a 21-day plan themed around a specific theme. And here's the cool thing. We haven't added it yet because we don't have enough yet, but one of these is going to be called Community Contributed Plans. And we have opened it up so that any member of the community can contribute a 21-day plan, because we had a couple different ones say, hey, let's do one for military, or let's do one for this. And we said, hey, if you're willing to put it together, we would love to feature it for you. And so we will have a whole page just designated to anyone putting together different plan ideas, different themes. So the community can just build it and make it bigger and better.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. You know, I'm sitting here thinking, as you're talking about the freebies and things like that, I'm thinking, I need ideas for a family reunion this summer. And so a lot of these projects
that might be in the works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, tune in a couple of months.
All right. Good.
Plan just for that.
Oh, good.
might be.
I need
I
it
can't
by the
say.
end of June. Okay. Or, well, maybe the beginning of June. I need it.
Well,
That's
I can't say.
I know, because you can't. Oh, even for us, we won't tell anybody. But
We've got you covered. We'll just say that.
all right, that
And
sounds
then you can explore other things here too, just like our results from our previous experiments. If you want to volunteer, we have 25 members on our team now. It is always growing. We have so many great people. So if you ever want to volunteer, jump in there. Anyway, that's how you participate. Any questions?
Dan had asked about iTunes. I just wanted to
Oh.
know if the app is.
No, not at the moment. I am currently working on that, but I've been dealing with attempting to get it on Apple now for 3 months.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm taking it one store at a time.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
So
That's great. This has been so much fun. Does anybody else have any questions, or is there something that you needed us to cover that we didn't cover? Because we've just been listening to you in awe. This is such a fabulous way to get families involved. I just love this idea so much. Is there anything that we didn't cover, Taralyn?
I'd love to jump onto something that Laura said earlier. I loved what she said. How with like journaling, we start with ourselves, and just one of my key things with this project is just come as you are and do what you can. Like we have seasoned genealogists who are using it, to connect with their family in new and different ways. And then we have people who have never done it before and who have never cared to do it before. And they're finding ways that they can do, because everyone has a story. Yep. Everyone has a piece of genealogy. They might have photos in their basement that need to be scanned, or even a memory of a grandparent that someone else doesn't have. There's just something something all of us can do, and it doesn't have to be a certain way for everybody. We can latch onto those things that we're excited about, whether it's records or photos or stories, or working with kids and teaching them about their family history. There's really something for everybody to do. And we're grateful for everyone in the community. We learn so much from each other and all the different levels of expertise. And it's been really nice for me during the pandemic, because I miss the conferences and I miss all of that. So it's been good for me to jump into this community and connect that way.
Well, and that said, we planned the whole cultural connections plan based off of, we had a few people say, this is hard for people who don't really have good family relationships. And so the All About Me plan is a great one for that, right? Because you can kind of tap into yourself a little bit and kind of learn more. But the cultural connections plan is excellent for people who maybe don't have great family relationships, but they'd love to connect more with their culture. It's all about connecting with your roots and more of a deep rooted connection, instead of, because it's true, like Tara said, anyone can connect in some way to something that can make them feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves.
Sure.
And
because there's plans for people like me, and there's anywhere up to like your empty nesters. It's meant for anyone from any background and any age to come and join and connect. And so I think it's really cool.
I love that, because so often some of these projects people get into and say, oh, this is not for me. I don't have this. I don't have this kind of family. I don't have good family relationships. I don't, I'm 17. What do I, what's in it for me, right? So I love the fact that it encompasses everybody. There's plans for everybody.
Yeah. So you have an empty nester program? No, because I'm thinking it would be great that the adult kids would be required to reminisce with their lonely parents.
I love that. I think that's a great idea. Let's make one.
I'll put it on my list.
Okay.
Laura,
I love it.
Your consultant on that one.
Yeah.
Because she wants to make those kids, require them to have to participate. So
we're all about forcing.
Exactly. You will do this plan with me, because I will have stories. Oh, that's too funny. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This has been so much fun, and I'm hoping that you'll get a great response after we put this video out. And
yeah, unlike the previous one.
Unlike the previous one.
Oh, Laura did the previous one and she did a great job.
No, I meant their previous response of 5,500 people.
Okay,
really, that was amazing, the responses that you've gotten so far.
Yeah.
So let's hope we can just keep the ball rolling.
Yeah,
Get
great concept.
Oh, it's a wonderful concept.
Thank you. We thank you for having us. Like, it was really exciting to be invited. We love having the opportunity to just spread the word and share that it exists, and hopefully help more people feel that healing and power and happiness.
Well, we will have the link in the show notes. So everybody out there, hop onto the webpage, sign up, look at all the little freebies on there that you can, for things that in case you want some ideas.
Yeah.
time, and then like me for some reunions ahead of time, and then get signed up and find a project and that will work for you, and then let us know how it went and what you learned from it. We would love to hear that. So thank you, ladies, so much for coming, and thank you, panel, for being here tonight, and we will see you next time on GenFriends. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.